That IMSA race was a great race that day. You know, there were like 37 cars, and like anything, luck plays such a part in racing. And the luck part of it was that there was actually like 15 DNFs during that race, two of which were some of our main competitors, one being Sam Posey, who's driving a Corvette, who's leading most of the race. And he dropped out about halfway through. Peter Gregg and Hurley in a 914.6 GT also dropped out, I think with suspension problems or something. So we were able to go on and end up winning that race. I think we ended up 3 laps ahead of the nearest finisher. So it was a terrific day.
But think of all the neat names you built. When Bob said a minute ago that this place is good for a Porsche, Lime Rock is called a momentum track. And a momentum, I think it's pretty obvious what that means. Not super slow corners, not long periods of acceleration, but where you need to be really good in the corner and exiting the corner, and don't have a huge distance to the next one.
Exactly.
Just the opposite of a Road America, or, you know, or a Watkins Glen, where a big motor is what you need.
Exactly. You know, in some of the earlier Trans Am races that we raced at Lime Rock, 67, 68, 69, when the Porsches 911s and the Alphas were running against all the muscle cars, you know, and factory-sponsored cars, Mark Donohue and the Penske Camaro and Parnelli and George Fulmer, and we were able to come in, I think in that 68 race, we came in 5th overall and second under 2 liter, which for a Porsche was, you had to spend a lot of time in your rear view mirror to keep out of the way of George Fulmer or Jerry Titus coming flying at you through the turns, but that was great racing. And you know, that period of racing too is really a period when amateurs could come to the track. You know, there wasn't a lot of major sponsorship. I remember those early races, the only tractor trailer in the pits was a Carroll Shelby. Everybody else, you know, came with trailers. So it was a different world back then.
So I mentioned at the beginning that I wanted to ask you about your business, and you just mentioned Mark Donohue.
Yes.
So what company was he a partner in, and was he just a name on the wherever, or did he do any work?
No. He was actually very, very active, and he started sort of a subsidiary company called Race Mark Southeast in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, where Mark was very active with his cigarette racing boats and good friends with Don Aronow and whatnot, and very involved in the design of when Penske did the IROC racing series with the Camaros. You know, Mark designed all of the spoilers and whatnot, which we produced and then sold through the Racemark company at that time. But as I mentioned to you before, Skip, the other interesting coincidence that weekend 50 years ago when we won this race, that was the same weekend that Mark Donohue won the Indy 500 on Memorial Day over that same weekend. So it's a great connection there of 50-year celebrations. And it was 2 weeks after that my wife and I married 50 years ago, and Ginger was there then and is here today. So
Congratulations.
Great weekend.
That, I don't remember if Mark flew here from Indianapolis later on and raced on Monday. It was then a common thing for prominent drivers, when IMSA really grew into being significant, would race at the Speedway on Sunday, and if it didn't rain and postpone that race, come here and race the next day.
Well, Sam Posey did, as you know. He was in that same race on Memorial Day at Indy in '72 and flew back here for this race. So, and you know, Sam's been a great friend and just a great supporter of the car museum, and